know what, officer? I just got this car. I just had to see how fast the engine would go.
I get it. What do you got in here? A Hemi? I clocked you. 137.
Probably 140, but look, I have 240 horsepower, brother.
Woo! That thing is quick. Driver, put your hands out of the vehicle where I can see them now.
Yo, why are you pulling me over? My license and registration are valid. I wasn't even speeding. What did I do?
Driver, throw your keys out of the vehicle now.
I still don't understand. What did I do?
Driver, stop resisting arrest now! Hey, bud, you know you're driving on a suspended license and your registration expired?
What's up, y'all? We're going to talk about how dark-skinned people are exploiting light-skinned people. They're exploiting light-skinned FBAs, and even some, I'm going to do a reaction later to the what's it called? Grapevine people, where they talk about colorism. And I'm going to talk about how they exploit light-skinned people. Even some black people or people of color who are of different nations, they exploit mulatto FBA Americans. And that show that I'm going to react to, it shows that. But I want to talk about how a lot of black Americans, especially darker black Americans, they like to stereotype light-skinned black Americans or mulatto Americans. And they try to get mad when other people of other demographics view them based off the stereotypes they created. For example, they always try to, there's a lot of contradictions in their arguments, and I don't know if light-skinned people are intelligent enough or they're just scary, and it could be both. Or at least the light-skinned people a lot of light-skinned people are not, they don't care about color as much as darker people do, especially mixed race people I've noticed. So they're not really trained how they are to deceive about that shit. But basically, for example, a dark-skinned man will literally walk around and brag and boast about how he's so masculine, and how he's just this buck, and how he bullies people, and how he shoots these guns and all this other bullshit, right? And he talks about how light-skinned dudes are soft and they clean cut and they pretty boys, they follow the rules, right? But they do that in order to attract sex from women, right? But then they've been talking about, they get on public platforms saying this stuff and talk about how light-skinned dudes are more civilized and this, that, and the third, right? But then when they get pulled over by a police officer and a light-skinned dude gets pulled over by a police officer, and allegedly they let the light-skinned dude go, and they stereotype him for being what he says that he is, which is an uncivilized goon, he gets mad and try to shame the light-skinned dude for being perceived that way, even though he's been pushing that stereotype about them the whole entire time. So they want their cake and eat it too. How do you walk around and say that you this goon and you this masculine thug in order to press these hoes, but then get mad when a white man or a white person sees him, a light-skinned dude is more civilized? That's something that you put. That's why I don't feel sorry for you. And there's a lot of contradictions in that argument. One minute they say that, well, if you get pulled over by the police officer, they view you as black. Then one minute they're saying that you're getting preferential treatment if you get pulled over. Which one is it? So they're exploiting these mixed race people and these light-skinned people and trying to guilt trip them and trying to lie to them. And a lot of these light-skinned people, they fall for it. It's the same thing with dark-skinned women. Dark-skinned women will walk around oppressing light-skinned men and persecuting light-skinned men about being light-skinned, which is racism and colorism. Don't let them lie to you, which we're going to go over that in the Grapevine video. And they talk about how light-skinned men are soft and feminine. These stereotypes come from dark-skinned people, and they come from dark-skinned black Americans specifically. And they get on public platforms saying these things, right? But then dark-skinned men are raised by dark-skinned women. So that's where it's coming from. That's the originator of all these stereotypes. They get on these public platforms and spread these narratives about light-skinned people and light-skinned dudes and how we're so much feminine they are, we're softer, right? But then they turn around and get mad when other men view light-skinned women as soft. It doesn't make sense. How can you be mad and call a light-skinned dude soft as a dark-skinned woman, and they get mad because light-skinned women are perceived that way and they're more desired? So it's a contradiction. All right? If y'all don't like the fact that they're perceived, won't dark-skinned people, if y'all do yourself a favor, why don't y'all just stop stereotyping people? Because every time I see somebody stereotyping somebody, it's usually a dark-skinned man or woman associating skin color with personality traits. All right? But a lot of people think this stuff is cool because black Americans do it, and they just keep going along with it. But then, you can't do that. All right, but they're exploiting light-skinned people, and it's a lot of contradictions in the colorism arguments. And I don't know if light-skinned people are listening to them or they're just too scary, or the type of light-skinned people that got up there. But yeah, they're exploiting you guys. All right, and it's like y'all not catching on to it. All right, the contradictions, and all type of stuff. So I'll see you on the next one.